Hi guys, today I wanted to share my first impressions on the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. I used it for about 2 hours and that's what I think so far. And sorry for any background noise, it's raining outside, but nothing I can do here. But let's check the device real quick. On the right side we have the power button. At the top we have the IR blaster, microphone, headphone jack. On the right side we have the volume rocker. And on the bottom we have the micro USB and the stylus along with 2 microphones. In my opinion the buttons are a bit too high. I would wish them almost an inch further below so you can reach them easier. That's the first complaint. But another great thing here is the back. It feels very grippy, very premium, and it's just nice to hold on. This is really nice. About the bevels, I'm not so happy with the beveled edges because they look really nice, shiny, and the overall metal construction is really nice. But due to the beveled edge, it is sharper than it needs to be because we have a slight round, a curve on the display, which is really soft. But what's it good for if the edge of the metal case is sharp again? Also here at the bottom we have the micro USB and along we have already this sharp edge. So if you use your finger, it's just not comfortable to hold with so many edges because everything else on the device is quite round. So this is not the best thing. Gap gate, don't believe anything of gap gate, at least not on my device. Of course there is a gap here, maybe it's visible, but that's the curve and the chassis, nothing to really concern about. So my thoughts at the design and the build quality. Build quality is good, but the design not so much. Button placement isn't my particular choice and the beveled edge also not so much. As for the display, let's check that real quick. And I will try to make it quick. Okay. As for comparison, the OnePlus One, both on 100%. And as you can already see, the Galaxy Note is definitely way brighter and the colors pop way more, as this is definitely obvious. But here is also one thing noticeable, and I don't know, it doesn't translate that much on the camera, but the white is slightly warm, but that's not the issue. I think it's warm, yeah. But it's definitely more looking like a very bright gray, not like a white. But otherwise, colors are totally overblown, oversaturated. This is a thing of personal preference, therefore the viewing angles are almost perfect. It looks like a sticker more than any device I've seen so far. So blacks are also killer, super deep. So the display and overall I think is still nice. The white is my big issue because today on websites you have a lot of white, so that's the thing. And don't worry about the flickering, that's just my camera shutter. It has a bit trouble with this. In terms of sound, not quite as loud as the OnePlus, but therefore way better in overall sound because it sounds way richer and just more natural. But the downside here is the absolutely shit as fuck position. It's completely stupid, you block it all the time, at least you don't reflect it as well. If it lies flat on the table, it's good because there is a small lip here that puts it up so it won't get blocked at the table. But still, sound is okay, but the position is not the best thing. About the performance, at first when I used the device for a few minutes, the device's performance was quite bad. It got better maybe after all the syncing and after all the update, but still I would put it at about maybe G3 level. But the issue here is the difference is this performance is in most apps, like for example here in my Fenix Twitter app, it is smoother than the G3. Also in Amber or so, but it's just not as consistent if you jump between apps. You see there is a delay if you do this and if you do this. You see, all takes a bit of time. So that's a bit of an issue for me because it's not snappy and it is smooth but not always. The performance just isn't consistent. So performance I would say slightly below, in terms of consistent, below the G3. In terms of battery, I used it for like 2 hours, so I can't really say. But in those 2 hours, it used about 40%. This doesn't seem to be that bad, but also not that great. Maybe slightly above G3 level. The camera is quite hard to get a good picture because you take like 5 pictures and only one is good. But that one is absolutely great. Super sharp, very detailed, nothing to complain here. So just to make it real quick in overall, the design not the best, build quality otherwise is fine. For me on a daily basis it's just a bit too big, hard to reach this button here. The display is absolutely nice. Not the white is not the best, but still absolutely nice display. Sound is okay. Performance is right now my biggest issue. Of course, we have TouchWiz, but TouchWiz, it looks like it looks, but at least it doesn't seem to bug down the system so much as before, but also not any less than the LG skin. So performance still is my biggest gripe so far. Camera and battery life is something I will have to see about, but in overall I can definitely tell you right now already, this will not be my new daily driver. Therefore it's just too big and the performance not snappy, not consistent enough, because coming from a Z3 or a OnePlus One, there are quite worlds between. So people who give this device an editor's choice, yeah, I don't know. And one thing I wanted to mention here, don't think I'm a Samsung basher, hater or anything. I'm completely objective, believe it or not. I wanted to try this device and I had high hopes. They didn't get quite fulfilled yet, so right now I am a bit disappointed. But if you're coming from a Note 2 or Note 3 and were happy with that performance, maybe using a custom ROM or anything, or just more happy with it is, then you should be fine with the Note 4. But coming from a really fast, snappy device, it's quite a difference. So I'll leave it like it is. More about it in the full review, and until next time, I'll be back.